Hi, welcome. So on screen with me, I have a sentence correction question. So please pause the video for 2 minutes, solve the question and join me for the explanation for the same. So I'm sure you must have finished this question. So let's see, as you can see that I have a question where I have a part of the sentence which is underlined and a part which is non-underlined. So my first task would be to, of course, deconstruct the sentence to look for what are those easy identifiable traps, errors, if any, and what is the intended meaning of the writer. So let's go ahead. So when I'm deconstructing it, what do I see? I see that the first part of the sentence starts with a phrase which is descriptive in nature. Found throughout Central and South America. So this is like a description. Now what is found? Obviously, I notice there is a subject. The subject is sloths are found. Great. That's logical. It looks pretty logical to me. They can be found. And what do the sloths do? The sloths hang from trees by long rubbery limbs. So this is action 1. Act 1 performed by the sloths. And this is a parallelism indicator. This is indicating that, oh, there are 2 acts there and they sleep. This is act 2. Great. Everything looks very parallel. Form looks the same. Function wise also fine. Then I have a comma and it says moving infrequently enough. So who is moving infrequently enough? Obviously, it's the sloths who are moving enough that 2 species of algae grow on its coat. Now, whose coat is this? This complete part actually is my non-underlined, which means that this part has no error and I can use this part as a clue for 100% error identification, right? I can use this as a clue. So now when I look at its, I notice that it is singular. Definitely I know where my error is. Singular its definitely can't take sloths, right? It has to take sloth. So my first trap or primary error is crystal clear. So my first primary error is I notice that there is a noun and a pronoun mismatch. So armed with this, let's move down. And with the help of this particular little error, I can analyze my given options and pay attention to the splits that are there. Meaning wise, I have understood one thing, that the whole story is about telling that sloths did some actions and because of those actions, algae is growing on the coat. I have to logically think which action is responsible for the growth of the algae. Let's go ahead and notice the splits in my given options. So yes, this is the error that I have noticed. Based on that error, I think our 3 options can go. The first, second, and third, A, B, C, I notice the same split is there, sloths, right? So based on this, A, B, and C can be safely removed. All 3 of them have this noun, pronoun mismatch. Then I'm left with D and E. Now, when I look at D and E, which are my splits that I see? The sloth is common. Hangs, I've definitely corrected the subject verb agreement error by its long rubbery limbs. Then I notice there is sleeping 15 hours a day and moving so infrequently. So there's a parallelism indicator, and I notice a change in the form of sleeping. Sleeps and sleeping, there is a difference. Moving and moves, there is a difference. So now the question that comes to me is, why does the algae grow? Why does the algae grow? What is the reason for it growing? Is hang the reason? Just because it is hanging from tree would algae grow? No, right? But yeah, if you sleep for 15 hours a day and if you do not move, so if moving is not happening and you are sleeping, growth of algae can happen, right? That means function wise, which are the acts that can be parallel or taken together? So going by that logic, if I put an and here and it will imply that hangs, sleeps and moves all are impacting the grow action, which is wrong, right? Logically, because of hanging, I cannot grow. So meaning wise, option E can safely be removed. it doesn't make sense. But if I put this grow here, the algae growing because of sleeping 15 hours and moving so infrequently, this makes sense to my logic. So because the meaning makes sense here, I can definitely pick up D as my answer. The construction is correct, right? Now, considering that the two ways that we use this particular solving this question is, one, I use the non-underlined part and I did the noun and pronoun mismatch. Another is I use meaning. So here I did not, only focus on parallelism. I did not only look at, oh, I see and I look at parallel forms. No. Along with parallelism, it is very, very important that you check the intended meaning, because only if the intended meaning requires, then only will I use parallelism. So parallelism is a first check, but do not only, base your answer on parallelism. Also pay attention to the requirement of the question that is there, what the sentence wants to really convey. We are looking for an ideal GMAT sentence, which is well balanced, logical meaning is being represented, and which does not have any scope of ambiguity or confusion in its structure. So here, hence my correct answer is option D.